Good morning. It is Thursday, January 23rd. Here's what we're working on. 3 people have been sent to hospital after a shooting and robbery at a Brantford pawn shop.
Premier Doug Ford could call an Ontario election as early as next week.
And 9 Inch Nails announces their first tour in 3 years. It includes a stop in Toronto. Good morning.
What did you say to me before we went on air?
I'm like, I have a 9 Inch Nails song in my head all morning long. And you're like, why? And I'm like, oh, wait. You'll find out our headline.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get into the show, it's like, okay, we're talking about this today. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're so focused on getting other things going on and focused on the balmy weather that we have.
Yes. Look at Brian. No turtleneck today.
Yes. Oh, man, it's so warm. I should undo my tie a little bit here.
Take that jacket off.
That's right. You know, we are a full 10 degrees Celsius warmer, milder than we were yesterday morning.
You
at
can
this
tell.
time. Yeah. It's -9 right now. Yesterday we were -19. Hey, -9. It's a heat wave. Okay, there goes Martha and the Vandellas in my head all day. Yes, so a little bit milder for the day today. Yes, we're going to climb to -6, but still that wind. It's going to make it feel like -14. So still up. A chilly day today. That wind, we're getting some flurries right now, flurries on and off and fairly cloudy all day long today. We're getting some right now. I was looking in some of the light standards on some of our cameras that I'll show you, and we're getting some flurries at the moment, and that will continue on and off throughout the day today. Yeah, but a little bit milder today. We should hit -6, but still a cold wind chill. We're -9 right now. We'll talk about it coming up, looking at traffic, and again, as usual, this time of the morning, nothing here at the 403 and Waterdown Road. That looks fine. Checking other cameras that we have. Here's QEW at Grays Road, Stony Creek, Toronto bound toward the Skyway. Same here. This is the base of the Skyway. Still doing fine. Toronto bound now towards us. Little snow flurry activity right here east of Appleby Line, but nothing as far as the traffic problems are concerned. We'll keep you posted. Weather and traffic coming up. Right now, the news.
Okay, big news in Brantford this morning, where a shooting and robbery at a downtown pawn shop last night has sent 3 people to hospital. Simone Gavros is there with more. Good morning, Simone.
Good morning, Ann. Well, police say that this happened around 5:30 last night at the corner of Colborne and Alfred Streets. Now, the address that I was given was for this downtown pawn shop at Downtown Pawnbrokers, but police have yet to confirm if this robbery and shooting took place inside of this business. But police still have this intersection blocked off for the time being. So if you are trying to get down Colborne Street at the corner of Alfred Street, you'll have to find another way around. But when police were called, they were called to this robbery in progress, and then learned that 2 men had been shot and then a 3rd man was assaulted. Now, all 3 are in stable condition, but they had serious injuries at the time. Police wouldn't say if the people injured were staff or shoppers. 1 man is in custody, and police are still searching for at least 1 other suspect. Now, the K9 unit were on scene at one point helping with the search last night. Information on these outstanding suspect or suspects are not available at this time, and it's unclear at this point if a weapon was recovered at the scene. Now, police say there is no concern for public safety right now. We did reach out to police this morning for further details, just to get more information about what exactly took place. We're also looking for that confirmation about whether this shooting and robbery took place inside the pawn shop here behind me. But again, for the time being, Colborne Street and Alfred Streets are going to remain closed for the investigation, and we're going to be reaching out to police for more details. For now, something's back over to you, Tim.
All right, thanks, Simone. I want to take you to Markham now, where a woman is recovering after being shot outside of her home. York Regional Police, they have released video of what happened. The woman, who has been blurred by police in the video to protect her identity, had been talking with someone at the end of her driveway. This happened late Tuesday afternoon. She seems to walk away as the person dressed in a safety vest, hard hat, and mask fired several shots, hitting her only once, though, in the arm. Before the shooting, the 2 had been out on the sidewalk talking. Police say several people drove by as this was happening. They're asking witnesses to please come forward.
Well, having your vehicle stolen is a hassle, but imagine it causing you to miss the birth of your child. That is what happened to the owner of this SUV in Hamilton. Police say the owner had left it running with their phone and ID inside outside a daycare center when it was stolen. Hours later, with no phone and no transportation, they discovered that their spouse had had emergency surgery to deliver their baby. Now, a week later, police located the badly damaged SUV. They found 6 teens inside, 2 of them hiding in the trunk. That led to 11 teens altogether being arrested for a series of vehicle thefts. A hazardous waste facility in St. Catharines has been ordered to permanently close. The Ministry of Environment tells us that Sonic's Products has to submit a closure plan by the end of March. A fire at that facility caused an early morning explosion 2 years ago that killed an employee, 37-year-old Ryan Conkin. The ministry has laid charges against Sonic's and its directors, Steve Baker, Sharon Baker, and Tyler Baker. Premier Doug Ford has told reporters to stay tuned when he was asked about an early election. The ask came after Canada's premiers met virtually with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to talk about looming threats of U.S. tariffs. Ford says they know those tariffs are coming February 1st, and they're building a solid plan to fight them. For Ford, he says that means dollar-for-dollar tariffs targeting where it will impact Americans the most. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, though, has so far been the only premier calling for diplomacy, not retaliation. When asked about the plan to fight the tariffs, Ford says Canada needs to stop being so dependent on the United States, and he says he believes the group is moving Premier Smith along to get on board with their retaliation approach.
We had a good discussion with Premier Smith, and she understands we need to be united, and I understand that she wants to protect, her main commodity, but country comes first, over anything. As I said to the premiers, you can't bring a knife to a gunfight. Usually the guy with a knife loses when in a gunfight. We have to make sure that we match these tariffs dollar for dollar. We need to target where it's going to impact Americans the most. We don't want this. No one wants this, and including a lot of the Republicans and Democrats that I've talked to. Matter of fact, I have yet to find one citizen of the U.S., one elected official that says, yeah, I agree, we need to target Canada.
Now, the Prime Minister's office released a statement on the meeting announcing that it is implementing a $1.3 billion border plan, which includes more personnel, better technology, and increased law enforcement. Federal government also notes the Canada-U.S. border accounts for a fraction of illegal crossings into the states and less than 0.2% of fentanyl seized by U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. Trump has said the tariffs are in response to what he describes as massive flows of fentanyl and migrants into the states.
Okay, well, anytime the Maple Leafs are on the ice, like they were last night when they hosted Columbus, we would kick off Sportsline with it, unless there was a certain Hamiltonian who's having a wonderful season in the NBA, leading the league in scoring, and last night was trying to break the Canadian scoring record.
He's got 17 points and 15 rebounds. Shea looking for 50, and he delivers!
And that is exactly what Steel Town's favorite son did for his OKC Thunder as they hosted Utah. Heading into the game, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had scored 40-plus points 6 times this season, including tying his career high of 45 points. He hit the 50-point mark to match Kitchener's Jamal Murray for most points by a Canuck, but he would add to that, finishing with 54 as the Thunder chalked up another win, 123-114 over the Jazz. Shea is far and away the fave for MVP honors, leading his team to top spot in the West. He is something else. Wait till you hear what he has to say about his performance. We'll have that next hour.
Tried to drop to the point, but it didn't reach there, and Provorov up ahead. Here comes Fantilli, scores! Adam Fantilli, it's a short-handed goal.
All right, check in on the Buds at Scotiabank, where the Columbus Blue Jackets would put on a show, specifically 2 local lads who shine in front of family and friends. Adam Fantilli, who hails from Nobleton, just outside of Toronto, will record his first career hat trick, while Woodbridge native Luca Delbel Belouz would have a goal and an assist, and this one is Columbus. Well, they would snap the Leafs' 3-game winning streak. They take it easily, 5-1. Not good news as the Leafs would also lose Matthew Nyes to an upper body injury. So bad night all around for the Leafs.
Plays off to Lourdes, right back. Now to O'Brien, open on the left. O'Brien shot, in front, scores. Patrick Thomas has a 5-point night.
Yeah, it was a banner night for Bulldogs captain Patrick Thomas and his Brantford teammates as they welcome those Ice Dogs from Niagara into the Madhouse on Market. Thomas would set a franchise record. He had a goal and 5 assists. He was involved in all 6 of the Bulldogs' goals as they keep their hot streak going. They've reeled off 7 straight. Special night as well, being Bulldogs Foundation night with the team sporting those black and silver jerseys because BFD night is for the Bulldogs Foundation, and this game was in support of the Brant Community Healthcare System Foundation. Before puck drop, Bulldogs Foundation presented a check for $100,000 to them, with the new owners, the Hyman family, matching that donation. So a $200,000 total, with jerseys being auctioned off and 50-50 also going to Brant's Healthcare System Foundation. Special night. I can't wait to hear what Mayor Kevin Davis has to say about this. He's on the show later this morning. All right, let's go to the ice in Boston, where the Toronto Scepters trying to get out of the PWHL basement. They sat in last in the 6-team league, and they are still there this morning as the Fleet dominated them, scoring twice in the first. They would skate away with a 4-1 win. Blair Turnbull, the Scepters captain, with the only goal scorer. So they're now 4 points back of Boston for that second last spot. Toronto, they host New York Saturday, Scotiabank Arena, hoping a big crowd can help turn their season around.
6:11, good morning. It's Thursday, the 23rd of January, and it's a little bit milder this morning. You'll notice it as you step outside. I mean, it's still cold, but it's better than yesterday. All right, looking traffic, first of all, 403 Waterdown Road is getting a little bit busier at the moment, but still moving quite well. To our MTO traffic cameras, St. Catharines, first of all, pretty hazy here, and the reason it looks like that is because some snow flurry activity right now. Light snow all the way through Grays Road, Stony Creek, but nothing in traffic east of Brant Street. Then we'll flip ahead to east of Royal Windsor, right around the Ford plant, all doing fine. Same with Dixie going through Mississauga. So no problems on the roads. But careful, please, because the light snow could make things a little slippery. Temperatures at the moment, hey, we've come up a degree. We're now sitting at -8. Yesterday we were -19, so that's why I'd say it's a little bit milder. Still a wind, it's still light this morning, but it makes it feel like -14 at the moment, and we are getting that light snow flurry activity. So for school today, we're going to climb to -6. Okay, but still a wind chill. Cloudy skies, flurries for the day today. That wind will still come at us from the southwest. Been a lot of flurry activity, as you can see. That's the blue areas, is the snow flurries. Darker blue, some heavier snow flurries. Still going to get some snow squalls coming off of Lake Erie and actually even Lake Ontario into Toronto because of that southwest wind. So a bit of a cold front going through, but it's not really going to drop our temperatures significantly. And then another warm front coming in just in time for the weekend. So temperatures are going to moderate by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. Today, a couple of centimeters. That's the north shore of Lake Erie into Niagara, into Toronto as well. But temperatures -4, -5, 6, and 7, depending on where you are. Fairly cloudy for the day today. Tonight, another couple of centimeters for the lake effect. Temperatures -10 to -13, -15 for Guelph and Kitchener. Still some wind chill values in effect there. And then tomorrow, -3 for Niagara. That's much better. -7 for Hamilton, -5 for the rest of the Horseshoe. Just a little bit of flurry activity in some areas for tomorrow. So 23rd of January, out the door, we're sitting at -8 right now. Wind chill about -14, and that's the kind of wind chill we'll have later on today because that wind is going to pick up as the day goes on. And we'll look at the long-range forecast for the upcoming weekend in a few minutes for you. Annette, Tim.
Yes, it's not very far away. Okay, thanks very much, Brian. Coming up after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily with a preview of what she has in Chit Chat. And one of Donald Trump's new executive orders may target our digital services tax, and it could potentially strain trade relations even further. It is 6:16 right now on your Thursday morning, and we're chatting with Emily for the first time today.
Hi, good morning. Sting has canceled some of his concert due to an illness we will discuss. Nine Inch Nails have announced their first tour in 3 years and will be making several stops in Canada.
Were you big into them, Nine Inch Nails?
I still like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like, have you ever seen them live before?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. You a fan, Em?
No.
Nine Inch Nails?
No. I just know it's like.
No, some of their stuff is a little slower, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just see an edit of Nine Inch Nails concert. I'd love to
could-
go there.
Totally.
Yeah.
Just to
Like-
watch.
Yeah, like Annette and Goth.
But I can see that.
I don't think of them as goth, though.
Yeah.
But like growing up, it was kind of like goth music to me. Like I know
Okay.
the kids in my school that
Yeah.
listen to Nine Inch Nails.
Totally.
Or
Like,
like the goth kids.
yeah. The goth kids.
Nothing wrong with that.
I think we need to discuss that a little more because I went through a goth stage, so we'll go through that.
Did you bring any pictures?
Maybe.
Yeah, sure. Please do.
Okay, later on this morning, we're going to be taking a look at a trailer of Robert De Niro's newest series, 0 Day, as well.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit.
Thanks very much. Right now, we're taking a look at what's happening in the markets, and our dollar in overseas trading is down 9 basis points at 69.5 cents U.S. Gold has dropped $17.30 an ounce. Crude oil is trading 7 cents lower, $75.37 a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are down in London, but they're up in Frankfurt and Paris by a bit. In Asia, markets were up today in Tokyo, down in Hong Kong, up in Shanghai.
Always fascinating what's going on in the North American markets ever since that thing that happened on Monday. And yeah, so we got some gains across the board again. Nothing substantial on Bay Street, up 29. After huge gains on Tuesday for the Dow Jones, we still saw some triple-digit gains, but much less with 130. NASDAQ, though, up 252. Let's see how they do trading on this January the 23rd.
Well, 3 federal laws in this country could soon be targeted by the new U.S. government, especially Canada's digital services tax. It's a 3% tax on revenue that's generated by foreign tech companies from Canadian users. The federal government requires them to make a hefty retroactive payment. That is supposed to happen in June. But on his first day back in office, Donald Trump signed an executive order pulling the U.S. out of international efforts to set these digital tax rules. Experts say the wording of that order indicates the United States could go after Canada's digital services tax. It could also target Canada's Online Streaming Act and the Online News Act, which require tech companies to make payments towards Canadian content and news.
If you are traveling with Air Canada anytime soon, you might want to listen up because passengers booking basic fares will now have their seats automatically assigned at check-in with an added fee for changes. Air Canada says the new policy still includes complimentary seat assignment for those who have not paid to select seats in advance. So if the assigned seat isn't ideal, you can change it for a fee, which will vary depending on the seats. Families and passengers requiring assistance will be seated together. So this change follows the airline's decision to stop offering free carry-on luggage for basic fare passengers.
Amazon Canada is shutting down all 7 of its warehouses in Quebec. 1,700 permanent and 250 temporary jobs are expected to be lost. The move comes after last year's accreditation vote to unionize 200 employees at an Amazon warehouse in Laval, Quebec. Amazon, though, says the closures taking place over the next couple of months have nothing to do with the unionization drive.
Some big news in the media down south because CNN, they plan to lay off hundreds of employees today as it refocuses the business around a global digital audience. This according to people familiar with the matter. So the layoff, they come as CNN is rearranging its linear TV lineup and kind of really building out its digital subscription products. The cuts will help the network lower production costs and consolidate teams. The sources do say certain shows that are produced in New York or Washington may move to Atlanta, where production can be done more cheaply. For the most part, the job cuts will not affect CNN's most recognizable names who are under contract. The network has about 3,500 employees worldwide.
Taking a break right now, Brian is back with your traffic and, thankfully, a warmer 7-day forecast.
Good morning, 624 Thursday morning. Let's get you into traffic. 405 and the QEW. The junction here, we're looking fine here. Toronto-bound lanes heading away from us toward the Garden City Skyway. Looks good. Greasy roads, though, because of the light snow we're getting. South end of the Burlington Skyway Bridge looks good. East of Appleby Line, no problems. Lauren Park, we do have, this is the only problem we have. It's a little further afield, and I'll show you this. This is the 400 coming southbound, heading toward the 401. We have a collision right there on the ramp heading off to the 401 from the southbound 400. That's the only problem we have. The good news is the temperature is a bit milder this morning than it was yesterday morning. So we're sitting right now at -8, but still that bit of a wind makes it feel like -14. So it's still a chilly start to the morning. -9 Mississauga, -6 Toronto, -7 into Grimsby. A seasonal overnight low is -10. So for the first time in quite a while, we are above seasonal to start a morning here. -2 will be the daytime high is what we figure. We'll be shy of that today. Those are our sun times and records for today. And yeah, we're looking at some flurries. Flurries to go into school today, flurries to come home from school later on. -9 for the first bell, -6 coming home later on. Here's how the long-range forecast shapes up. -6 today with that wind chill of -14. -13 degrees tonight. So still cold, and tomorrow -7. So a bit of sunshine, but a wind chill again, -14. Then look at the temperature moderate. -4 Saturday, -3 Sunday. Not a bad weekend for this time of year. And then -2 and -1 by the time we get to the middle of next week. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
Okay, it's time for cookies. Yes.
And milk?
Yes,
Sure.
yes, have to have it with Oreos because Oreo is partnering with singer Post Malone for its next limited edition cookie.
Yeah, so it's first Oreo with a swirled cream. It has salted caramel and shortbread flavored creams sandwiched between the chocolate cookie and then a golden cookie. So there's 9 designs on these cookies inspired by Post Malone. The limited edition Oreos, they go on sale, in the U.S., February 3rd. So Oreo has released limited editions in Canada before, like the Coca-Cola Oreo. Oh, no thanks.
Yeah.
But we don't know if Post Malone Oreos will be sold here. Oh, this is from Hadi, our writer, overnight writer. Says, looks like we'll have to postpone a taste test of those.
I like that one, Hadi.
Thanks, Hadi. But Oreo's doing a lot because they're on the Leafs helmets. They're like a Leafs sponsor.
They're trying. That cookie is 110 years old.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just
that
like
brand.
the OG cookie.
Yeah, I do too.
Give me the original.
And the Oreo fins.
Oh yeah, you like those?
I really like those ones.
Okay.
Yeah. With milk.
All right, half hour down. Bit better today. Okay, we'll take it. When it comes to the weather, kids might be able to go inside for recess finally. We'll see you in a couple minutes.